Evening, y'all. Tonight, we're going to be painting some Chaos Daemons in a variety of color schemes using paints from this Pro Acryl base set. Let's get going. This miniature is called a Blue Horror. It's a demon from Warhammer 40k, and we're going to paint the first one in a classic blue color scheme. Without the use of a wash paint to shade this mini, we're going to give it more volume and depth by starting off with a dark base coat of dark gray blue, and then gradually highlighting with pants blue and sky blue, as well as mixtures of the paints in between. And now we're just going to be glazing with pants blue on its own. There we go. Now glazing with a mixture of sky blue and pants blue. And now glazing with some sky blue for our final highlight. Now we're going to apply some burnt red into the mouth. Next up, we're going to be painting the inside of the mouth with magenta. Now we're going to heavily dilute some burnt red with some contrast medium to create a wash that will sink into the recesses of the mouth and shade them. And I'm going to run some of that wash paint over the tongue as well to help the colors transition into each other. Now we're going to go over the base and the flames with some bold titanium white. Now we'll let that dry and apply a second coat. And maybe one more coat. There we go. Next up, let's get bold and try making some non-metal metallics on the bracelets he's wearing. Starting off with some black. Now glazing with a mixture of dark warm gray and coal black. Now glazing with some dark warm gray on its own. Now glazing with a mixture of dark warm gray and bright warm gray to start to highlight our non-metal metallic. And now the same thing again, but with a higher ratio of bright warm gray. Now we're just going to highlight with bright warm gray on its own. Now a mixture of bright warm gray and bold titanium white. Now for some final highlights of bold titanium white. There we go. It's a little basic, but it will do. Next up, we're going to be using golden brown on the teeth. Now we're going to dilute some light umber with contrast medium to create a wash that will shade the teeth. Once that's dry, I'm going to glaze back over the teeth with golden brown. Now using a mixture of bold titanium white with golden brown for some highlights on the teeth. And there we go. Now to paint the flames in the base, starting off with golden yellow. Next up, we're going to be heavily diluting bold titanium white with a contrast medium to create a wash that will sink into the recesses of the flame. I'll let that coat dry and apply a second. Now going back with some golden yellow to start darkening the flames. Next we're going to be glazing with Agent Orange. I just noticed that. Next we're going to be glazing with Agent Orange to continue darkening the flames. Now we're going to be continuing to glaze with bold Pyrrole red towards the tips of the flames to darken them. And now we're going to continue darkening the very tips of the flames with glazes of burnt red. There we go. Next up, we're going to be applying some PVA glue to the base, and once that dries, we're going to apply some AK Dark and Dry Crackle effects. And there we go. The first of our painted Chaos Demons. Now for this next mini, we're going to do the exact same process with the same paints, except we're going to use red for the flesh and blue for the flames. Starting off with a base coat of mahogany. And then starting to highlight with a mixture of mahogany and burnt red. And then burnt red on its own. A mixture of burnt red and bold Pyrrole red. Now bold Pyrrole red for the final highlight. And some dark gray blue for the mouth. Then glazing a highlight with a mixture of dark gray blue and pants blue. And then pants blue on its own. And some simple non-metal metallics. And now to paint the flames using the same process as in my cold blue flame tutorial. There we go. That's a nice color contrast. And now let's try doing one with purple flesh and green flames, starting off with a base coat of mahogany, and then successively brighter mixtures of mahogany and purple, all the way to purple itself, and then a mixture of purple and magenta. The process for the flames can be found on my ethereal green flame tutorial. There we go. Easy peasy. Now we're going to paint one more, but we'll use a different approach. We're going to give 2 coats of golden brown, and then a couple coats of tan flesh to give a really good solid flesh tone. Next, we're going to heavily dilute burnt red with a contrast medium, and we're going to create a wash that we can cover the entire mini with. And finally, we're going to go back and highlight with tan flesh, and then do a brighter highlight of a mixture of tan flesh and bold titanium white. There we go. Disgusting. Leave a comment below if you hate this color scheme. There we have it. 4 different ways to paint these Chaos Demons. Pro Acryl paints. Get them now at BC Hobbies, and check out my Instagram at Ariel More Minis.